Hello, Rebecca. Welcome to our class.
Hi, teacher. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. Thank you. What about you?
I'm great.
Okay, that's something really nice. Welcome to our class. So tell me, are you ready for our activities from today?
Uh, Repeat, please.
Are you ready for our activities for
Oh,
today?
yes, teacher. I'm ready.
Very good. Okay, so thank you for connecting on time. Well, we have let's see Marilyn over here. So hello, Marilyn. How are you today?
Hello, teacher. I'm good. And you?
Okay, that's something nice. I'm fine today. Thank you for asking. So welcome to our class. Well, as you know, everybody, it's time to start with our class. Just, oops, let me activate my camera. Okay, and let me text your classmates to start our class. Okay, so once I send a message to the WhatsApp groups, we can start. Very good. Guys, well, girls, in this case, girls, I already sent a message to the WhatsApp group. So maybe your classmates are going to come in a moment. Thank you for coming, girls. As you remember, we have to continue with some activities today. So let me share with you my screen. Very good. Okay, so now that you can see my screen, Rebecca, Marilyn, can you see my screen? Yes?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, very good. Okay, today, as you see, we are talking about plans for the future. Okay, I don't know, maybe some of these plans you already did, you already complete them, or you already accomplished some of these plans, or maybe we are on the way to do it. Okay, but in this opportunity, we are going to talk about our plans. For example, well, as part of my plans, I guess I am going to buy a house. Also, maybe I'm going to travel to some other countries, and I'm going to get married. Okay, in some months or in some time, right? But what about you? Tell me, what are your plans? I have some pictures as examples, but if you have other plans, you can talk about them. Okay, Rebecca, tell me, what are some plans that you have for the future?
Well, I hope uh, visit Panama maybe on November or December.
That's it? No more plans?
For the moment, and no.
That's the only one.
Right now, yes.
Okay. Do you want to go
In
to
this moment,
Panama? Do you want to go to Panama for, I mean, for traveling or for another purpose?
for another purpose because my mom lived there.
Ah, wow, that's interesting. Okay, so you will go to Panama to see your mom, to visit your mom.
Yes,
Okay, that's really interesting. So you are planning to go on November, right?
I hope. Yes,
Okay.
because I think is a time which the weather is a little bit more fresh because Panama is really hot.
Oh, I got it. Okay. So I hope you can go to Panama in November, right? So when the weather is cool, you can have a great time over there. So thank you for sharing, Rebecca. Let's see, Marilyn. Tell me, what are some plans that you had for the future?
I have about 3 plans that I want to do, and the first maybe will be change my work for another work, and then I will learn more English because in the future uh, I probably live in another country. And to travel for the time being, maybe not, because I have been in vacation. Maybe to others month, and probably buy to a new house, and that's all, teacher.
Okay, those are great plans. So you want to continue learning English because maybe I'm not really sure, but you mentioned that you're going to live in another country. Also, you mentioned that you want to change your work or your job, and that's another good plan. Okay, I mean, you can work. Well, I want to ask you, Marilyn, what kind of job are you looking for?
Maybe to work for a hospital because I am in laboratory.
Oh, that's interesting. So you work. So what is your occupation or your profession?
I do exams, for example, cholesterol
Okay, that's interesting.
and
So
the
I
others.
hope you can work in a hospital soon. That sounds interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so very good. And the last plan you mentioned, it's to buy a house, which is an amazing plan. Okay, nowadays it's important to have clear ideas of what you want to get or what you want to come true. Okay, thank you for sharing, Marilyn. And well, today we have Juan Pablo. So hello, Juan. How are you today?
Hello, I'm fine.
Okay, that's so nice. Thank you for coming to our class. Well, Juan, as you can see, we are talking about plans for the future. We have some pictures as examples because maybe some of these plans, maybe you already accomplished some of these plans, but if you haven't, you can also tell me about this, or you can tell me about some other plans that you have. So tell me, Juan, what are your plans for the future?
Uh, well, I want to speak English well, clearly, fluency, and I want to I want to know how to use Microsoft Excel, but in a good manner, in a good way, and in that way, I can use that skills on my job. So that's are my plans for the future.
Well, very clear and very well. It was really interesting that you mentioned, well, of course, you want to improve your English, which is an amazing plan, and you want to learn how to use Excel. So what is your occupation? What is your profession, Juan?
And well, actually, I work as a sorry, I work as a technical instructor on motorcycles repairments
Okay.
and on other many other products. And not only as an instructor, but I am in charge of making warranty claims to factory.
Okay, well, that's interesting. So yes, it's really necessary to learn Excel and also to to improve your English so you can use it in a better way, right? So thank you for sharing, Juan. I hope you can learn how to use Excel better, okay, or a little bit more, and also that you continue practicing your English. Actually, I could say that you have a good level, okay, but we can always learn. Actually, we learn every day. So thank you for sharing. Guys, I'm really happy to listen that you have different plans in your life, in your professional area, well, some others in your with your family, in your relationships. So that's something interesting, and some other that are personal plans. I'm really happy for your plans and that you are well, you are trying to accomplish those goals that you have. In the case, as you mentioned, you are practicing, you want to improve your English because you want to travel to another country or because of your of the activities that you do in your job. So it's pretty nice, guys, that you are here and that you are practicing as much as possible. But guys, as you remember, plans are not always sure. So today, everybody, we are going to talk about possibilities and probabilities. So everybody, I'm really happy to speak about this with you because we are going to start practicing, okay? Well, Omar is here, so hello, Omar, how are you today?
Hello, teacher. I'm late a little bit, but I'm here.
Okay, don't worry, guy. So it's really nice to have you here.
Okay,
Well, Omar,
teacher, I'm very good.
today, as you can see, Omar, we are talking about adverbs of probability. So we are going to speak about, well, some adverbs. But first, can you help me reading what are the adverbs of probability?
Sure, teacher. Adverbs of probability. We use adverbials of probability to show how sure we are about something.
Very good. Thank you, Omar. Everybody, today, as we're talking about plans for the future, you know that the future is, well, we are not sure about anything in the future, but we can try and do our best to get what we want from the future. Guys, as you can see, we will practice today some adverbs of probability or some adverbials of probability and also possibility. So guys, let's see that we have 5 adverbs of probability. Please right now listen to Marilyn. Marilyn, what are the adverbs of probability from today's class?
Maybe in perhaps, probably, certainly, and definitely.
Very good. Okay, some of these adverbs are common. Okay, maybe you have seen these words in paragraphs, in sentences, in different text, or you have listened to some people using these adverbs. So today, guys, we are going to see how to use them and how to place them in a sentence, okay? So we are going to start everybody with maybe and perhaps, okay? Please right now to start with this, pay attention to Rebecca. Rebecca, please read this information.
Eh, maybe, oh, maybe and perhaps have the same meaning. Also, they come at the beginning of a clause.
Thank you.
Well,
As right now, only that part, okay? In a moment, you will help me with examples. As you see, guys, we have 2 words, maybe and perhaps. Maybe is a common adverb that we use when we are not sure about something, okay? In this case, if we use maybe, we are not sure about the thing that we are saying, okay? But we can make some we can talk about some possible things that are happening or are going to happen. Then, guys, pay attention to it. Perhaps, first of all, guys, perhaps have the same meaning as maybe, okay? So if you say maybe or you say perhaps, you are saying the same, or you are sharing the same idea. What are the differences between maybe and perhaps? Well, guys, the main differences of this are, first of all, guys, perhaps is more formal, okay? Maybe it's like the common word that we use or the common expression that we use when we are not sure about something. Perhaps is more formal, okay? It's for more formal situations. And also, perhaps is more common in writing, okay? So whenever you read a paragraph or you read some information, you can see that perhaps is more common to be used instead of maybe. Maybe is more common for speaking. So in case you want to use maybe, guys, it's common that you use it when you speak. You can use it for writing, yes, but perhaps it's more common, okay? Also, in formal text, it's more common to use perhaps. For example, guys, if you make an English certification, you will find perhaps more times than maybe, okay? Only if the paragraph or the text that you are reading it's informal, so you can find maybe. But in case it's a formal paragraph, you will find the word perhaps. But remember, they don't have any difference in meaning. The only difference that they have, guys, is that perhaps it's formal and it's common to be used in writing. Pay attention to our examples. Please, Rebecca, help me reading the two sentences. Go ahead.
Okay. Maybe they finished their project at work. And perhaps the weather will be nice this week.
Very good. Thank you for reading. You have a good pronunciation, Rebecca. Guys, as you can see, another important detail about maybe and perhaps is that they usually go at the beginning of the sentence, okay? So whenever we use maybe and perhaps, we can use them at the beginning of the sentence. Maybe they finished their project at work. They may be finished, it doesn't sound very well, okay? So that's why we use maybe and perhaps at the beginning of the sentence. Remember, as you see in the information that Rebecca read at the beginning, we have that they come at the beginning of a clause or a sentence. Okay, everybody? Remember this information and remember that they have the same meaning and we use them to talk about things that we are not sure about. Now, pay attention to our next adverbs of possibility or probability. Well, the most common one, everybody, it's probably, okay? As you know, everybody, when we use probably, we are talking about 50% of probability that something is happening or something is going to happen. Please, everybody, pay attention to Juan. Juan, read the information and the two examples.
Okay. Adverbs of possibility. Probably. She will probably come to the party. He is probably tired today. 50% of probability that something can happen. This adverb of possibility comes before the main verb and after the verb to be.
Very good. Okay, everybody, as you can see in this information and in the examples, probably it's used when we are talking about 50% of probability. So something can happen or maybe it can't, okay? Let's see the examples and remember the structure or the position of probably. As you see, we use probably before the main verb. She will probably come to the party. As you see, we have only one verb. What is the verb in the sentence, Omar? She will probably come to the party. What is the verb?
It's come, teacher.
It's come. That's right. So as you see, this adverb of possibility comes before the main verb. Okay, come before, so before the main verb. Okay, and the next instruction that we have, or the next information that we have, everybody, is that it goes, or it comes after the verb to be. So we have the verb to be in the second example. He is probably tired today. We have the verb to be, and after the verb to be, we have the adverb of probability. Probably. He is probably tired today. But pay attention to this, Everybody, we can use probably after the verb to be, mostly when we are using simple present and when we are using simple past. Okay, we can use these adverbs of possibility with different tenses. So you can use it in simple present, in simple past, in present progressive, even, guys, when we are using will to talk about the future, as we have in example number 1. Okay, but when we are using simple present in simple past, everybody, or we are using the verb to be in present and in past, we use probably after the verb to be. But in case you use the verb to be in future as using will, so will, we use it before. So we use will plus probably plus the verb be, okay? So as you remember, guys, these are some exceptions that we have when using the adverbs of probability. Let's remember the general rule or the general detail that we have about this, and it's that probably it's before the main verb, okay? When we are using future, so we always use will and then probably. Will, probably, okay? Anytime we are talking about future, but if we are talking about simple present or simple past, as we can see in this example, we are talking about simple present. He is probably tired today, okay? So as you can see in these examples, we are talking about the present. Now, since we are talking about the present, we use the verb to be, and after that, we use the adverb, okay? Remember this, everybody, because it's really important, and also it's a good detail that we can use when we are talking about possibilities or probabilities. Now, guys, let's pay attention to our last part in grammar. Remember, everybody, that we have certainly and definitely, okay? Please, everybody, pay attention to Omar. Omar, please read the information about certainly and definitely and read the 2 examples. Go ahead.
Okay, teacher. Certainly and definitely. They will certainly get married soon. Our trip was definitely a success. 90% of probability that something can happen. These adverbs of possibility come before the main verb and after the verb to be.
Amazing. Thank you, Omar, for reading. Well, guys, as you see, we have the same information. First of all, guys, that, well, definitely and certainly come before the main verb. Look at this example. They will certainly get. So we use certainly and then we use the main verb. And also, guys, as I mentioned, in simple present and in simple past, we use the verb to be, and then we use the adverb of probability, okay? Our trip was definitely a success, okay? Was definitely, certainly, get. Remember that anytime we use a verb or we use future, we use the adverb of probability and then we use the verb when we are using verbs. But if we are using the verb to be in present or past, we have to use the verb to be, and after that, we use these adverbs. Look at this, everybody. This is really important. Is that when we are using certainly and definitely, we are talking about 90% of probability. So it's almost sure that something is going to happen. Okay, so if we use certainly and definitely, we are talking about something that of course is going to happen, or it's possible that it's more possible that is going to happen. Okay, so remember to use this when you are almost sure. If we are not pretty sure about something, or if we are not really sure about something, we can use probably, or even we can use maybe or perhaps, okay? Remember this, everybody, which is really important, okay? They will certainly get married soon. 90% of probability. How do you know that they are going to get married? Rebecca, question for you. How do you know that they are going to get married? How do you know that information?
Because they invite me,
Oh, because they
or
invite
or,
you?
or
Uh-huh.
they have they had proposal
Uh-huh.
proposal.
They have the proposal, right?
Yes.
So very good. They have the marriage proposal at the, well, in the picture we can see that at the beach, and that's a good place. It looks really, really beautiful. But okay, you know that information, first of all, guys, because you see the marriage proposal. Also, because they invite you to their wedding. You can have some other places or some other things that confirm that what you mentioned, what you say that they will certainly get married, it's true, okay? You have facts, you have information that confirm that what you mentioned is true. Then in the second example, we see our trip was definitely a success. How do you know that it was a success? Marilyn, how do you know that information?
Because they look happy.
Very good, because they look happy. In this case, since we have some pictures, we can identify that that their trip was a success or was really good because they look happy. Maybe if their trip wasn't that good, they weren't like that. Maybe they were angry or they were sad or they were worried. But in this case, they are not like that. They are happy. So they showed that it was a success. Okay? Before we practice, everybody, let me show you, well, let me show you a list of adverbs of probability. So as you see, guys, in our class today, we look or we studied maybe, perhaps, also probably, also definitely, and certainly. Then, guys, we have three more adverbs of possibility. What are those adverbs? First of all, guys, let me mention, let me see. Let me mention, everybody, that we have possibly. Well, I have a question, guys. Do you think that possibly has a synonym in this list? Juan, do you think that possibly is a synonym of another adverb?
Sorry, could you make the question again?
Yes. Do you think that possibly have another, have a synonym in this list?
Possibly. Probably.
Okay, very good. You are right. Possibly and probably, possibly and probably are synonyms. So, as you remember, when we use probably, we use it before the main verb or after the verb to be. So it's the same when we use possibly. So we use it before the main verb or after the verb to be, in present or in past. Okay, so that is well, that's kind of easy because they have the same meaning as the same as maybe and perhaps. They maybe and perhaps have the same meaning. So possibly and probably the same thing. Okay, they have the same meaning. Then, guys, we have clearly and obviously. In this case, guys, they don't have, well, they are not synonyms, but they have the same use. Okay, and what is the use of clearly and obviously? Let me tell you guys that we use clearly and obviously to emphasize some information. Okay, we use clearly and obviously to emphasize some information. For example, look at the picture, guys. Give me a second. Look at the pictures that we have in these examples and eliminate the ideas that we created or the sentences that we created about the pictures. If we want to use clearly and obviously in this example, in these examples, I'm sorry, obviously, like that. Okay, if we want to use these adverbs with these pictures, so you can see the first picture. Look at this. They are in a marriage proposal. So I can say clearly they are going to get married. Okay, so it's obvious that that is going to happen. So I don't hesitate, I don't have any doubts that this is going to happen. So I am sure because I have evidence. So in this case, since I have evidence, I use clearly and obviously to emphasize that something is going to happen or something is more probable that is going to happen. Then in the second example, we will eliminate definitely, okay? We will use obviously. Obviously, their trip or our trip, okay? Obviously, our trip was a success. Success, okay? How do you know that information is true? Because we are happy in the picture, okay? So as you see, clearly and obviously helped us to emphasize that the information of the sentence is going to happen or is happening, okay? So help us to identify or to emphasize that this information or these sentences, or we are sure about this information in the sentences, okay? So everybody,
Teacher, I
yes,
have a
Marilyn,
question.
tell me.
These two examples is always to the beginning of the paragraph.
Yes, they are usually when we want to emphasize the information and that the information is true, so we use them at the beginning of the sentence. Okay, yes, Marilyn, good question, by the way. Okay, it was a great question. Clearly and obviously are usually used at the beginning of the sentence to make emphasize that we are sure about that information. Yes,
Teacher.
Omar?
Yeah, so maybe because the adverbs clearly and obviously is about the emphasis. So for this, it's at the beginning in the answer. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Okay, because we are trying to emphasize in something that is, that we are sure that is happening or is going to happen. That's why we use it at the beginning. Okay. For example, let me see the other pictures. Well, in these pictures, we don't have, well, in the first picture, we don't have like something that show us that the girl is going to go to the party, okay? But that's why we use probably, because we are not sure about that. It can happen, remember 50%, so it can happen, or maybe it can't, okay? So that's why we use probably in that case. But over here, since we have 90% of probability, we can use certainly and definitely. But if we are more than sure that something is going to happen, so it's better if we use obviously and clearly to emphasize that we are sure about that, okay? So remember, these are the most common adverbs that we can use to talk about probability or possibility, okay? Now that we practiced and we check this information, guys, let's do some practices. First of all, guys, let's identify the meaning. As you remember, I mentioned that some of these adverbs have the same meaning, okay? Now, guys, you have to identify which of these adverbs are the same, okay? Everybody, let's go to our first practice. Okay, let's see. Well, this is the thing that we practice. Right now, everybody, let's do our first activity. Give me a second, guys. This is still loading. Okay, look at the instructions, everybody. Choose the adverb which has a different meaning from the other two. So right now, everybody, from the three adverbs, there is one who has a different meaning or a different probability or a different percentage, okay? So right now, try to choose only the one that is different. Omar, you will be my first volunteer. So look at the three adverbs, certainly, maybe, and definitely. Which one has a different meaning?
Yeah, teacher, is maybe.
Maybe. Okay, let me check it. Okay, very good. We will check in a moment. Now let's go to number 2. Rebecca, tell me, which of these adverbs has a different meaning?
Perhaps.
Perhaps, okay, thank you. Let's see, let's check the next one. Tell me, Juan, which one of these has a different meaning?
Okay, sorry, let me check. Okay. This is difficult.
Yeah, too difficult. So tell me,
Okay.
which one has a different meaning? Maybe, possibly, or probably?
I will choose maybe, but I'm not sure.
Okay, you're not sure, so maybe it can be. Well done, thank you. Tell me, Marilyn, which of these has a different meaning? Perhaps, clearly, or possibly?
Perhaps.
Perhaps. Okay, very good, thank you. Let's check the next one. Okay, guys, let's do it all together. So we have probably, definitely, and certainly. What do you think? Which one do you think it's different or has a different meaning. Omar, what do you think?
Yes, teacher, I think probably is the different meaning because definitely and certainly I think have the most I think have more percent.
Very good. They had more percentage. So that's good. Okay, thank you. Let's check the last one. We have clearly, obviously, and certainly. So, Rebecca, what do you think? Which one has a different meaning?
Obviously,
Obviously. Okay. Thank you. Let's check together. Everybody check the 6 answers that we mark. Guys, we have 3 out of 6. Okay, let's check together. Well, number 6 was incorrect. Which one is different? What do you think? Marilyn, which of these is different? So obviously, it's incorrect. What do you think is the correct answer?
Certainly.
Yes, that's right. Okay, remember that clearly and obviously are used to emphasize some information. Certainly has a 90% of probability. Okay, let's check the next one. Okay, this one is correct. This one is not correct. Okay, so perhaps clearly and possibly we could say, everybody, that these 3 adverbs have a different meaning. Okay, but let's see the answers. I could say, everybody, that clearly it's different, of course. Okay, clearly it's different, guys, because remember that possibly and probably have a 50% of probability. And perhaps and maybe they don't have a specific percentage, but we use them to talk about things that we are not sure are going to happen. Okay, the same for probably and possibly. It can happen or it can't. Remember, okay, there is a 50% of probability. So clearly it's more likely that we use it when we have evidence that well, something is probable that is going to happen. Okay, so that's why it's different. Then everybody check the next one. Well, this one was correct. Give me a second. 5 answers. Okay. Oh, this one wasn't correct. So we had possibly and probably. I don't know why, everybody, but this one shows that this is correct. I'm not pretty sure about that, but I will check that information. I don't know why. Then, guys, we had perhaps and maybe. So, guys, I'm really happy because of your results, everybody, because some of this were kind of confusing in this case. Probably and possibly they are, well, actually they are synonyms. So that's why I'm not pretty sure why maybe was not correct. Okay, but we can continue, everybody, checking or practicing the use of these adverbs. So right now, everybody, let's move on to our next practice. Right now, everybody, let's go to our next activity and write sentences correctly. We have to write the sentences in the correct order using the adverbs of probability. So let's move to this activity. Okay. It's loading, guys. Now we can practice how to create sentences using the adverbs of probability. Let me make it a little bigger for you to. Okay. Well, everybody, look at this, okay? We have some sentences. You have to tell me, everybody, what is the correct sentence, okay? Remember the correct order of the sentences. What is the correct position of the adverbs? Please, Rebecca, help me with number 1. Which is correct? Read only the correct sentence.
Perhaps she's too tired to come.
Okay, perhaps he's too tired to come. Thank you. Let's see, Juan, tell me number 2, which is correct?
Number 2. Oh, okay. This is the number 1. Clearly, she was very emotional.
Okay, thank you. Very good. Omar, which is correct? Number 3.
Okay, teacher, let me see.
Okay, this one is difficult. I could see that it's difficult. But you can, Omar. You can do it. I am too busy tomorrow. Could I possibly come the day after? Could I come possibly the day after? Could I come possibly the day after? I'm sorry. So which one is correct?
Yes, teacher, I think so. I'm too busy tomorrow. Could I possibly come the day after?
Okay, thank you. Well, this one has a different order, but let's check the possible answer. Marilyn, number 4, which is correct?
He has obviously misunderstood the instruction.
Okay, he has obviously misunderstood the instructions. Well done, okay, thank you. Let's check number 5 and 6. Juan, what do you think is number 5?
Ooh. They certainly are at home.
Okay, they certainly are at home. Thank you. And number 6, let's pay attention to Marilyn. Okay, Marilyn, which is number 6? Which is correct?
Maybe the message never arrived.
Okay, thank you. Very good. Well, as you see, we finished with the first part. You have to choose the correct sentence from the following. Now, let's go to activity number 2. This one, everybody, I could say that it's a little bit more difficult. That's why we are going to practice all together. So we have example number 1. Certainly, she intelligent is an girl. So what do you think is the correct order? Rebecca, what is the first word in the sentence?
Let me see. She
Okay, just give me a second. Well, she, very good, that's correct. Now, what is the next word?
Certainly.
She certainly, uh-huh.
Oh, she's certainly an intelligent girl.
Intelligent, oops, Oh, repeat again the sentence, Rebecca.
She is certainly an intelligent girl.
Nice job. Okay, your sentence is correct, Rebecca, so claps for you. Amazing, okay? As you can see, everybody, in these sentences, so we are, well, in the first sentence at least, we are using the verb to be. So remember, when we use the verb to be in present or in past, we use the verb to be, and after we use the adverb. Okay, so that's for you guys. Very good, Rebecca. It was great. Let's continue with example number 2. Tell me, Juan, what do you think is example number 2? Left, could they possibly already have?
Okay.
Okay, this one, it's kind of difficult, but you can do it.
They okay. They possibly have. They could possibly.
They
They
could
possibly
also,
already have left.
okay, already have left. Okay, thank you. That was a great effort. So thank you. Let's see now. Tell me, Marilyn, what is example number 3 in your opinion? Together definitely came they to school.
Um, they can definitely
She could possibly.
They definitely,
they come definitely.
Oh, they come definitely. I'm sorry, I didn't listen. Come, okay. So they come definitely.
I'm not sure, teacher.
You are not sure.
They,
Okay. So let's see. They came definitely. Let's see. Marilyn, what is the correct position for definitely? Before the main verb or after the main verb?
before.
Before. So tell me, came definitely? Is definitely after or before?
After.
Oh, it's after. So the correct position, as you mentioned, it's before. Okay, so they definitely came. Came what?
Together to school.
Okay, they definitely came together to school. Oh, give me a second. What happened? Oops. There you go. Okay, guys, it's almost time to go, so we won't finish with this activity. I consider that we are going to check only the first part because of the time, okay? So let's see together, everybody. As you see, okay, most of the sentences are correct, okay? So the first sentence is correct. Number 2, I don't know why it shows it's incorrect. Then number 3, everybody, is correct. Number 4, it's correct. In this one, everybody, remember that we use the verb to, when we use the verb to be in present, we have to use the adverb after the verb to be. And this one, everybody, okay, so we have maybe the message never arrived is correct. Then, guys, these other examples were kind of difficult, and that's why That's why it was not correct. In the first example, it's correct. In the second example, guys, I could say that it's they could have possibly left. Sorry, give me a second. They could possibly have left already. So already maybe was at the end of the sentence, guys. I will try to check and send you the right sentence or the right example. And then in the last one, guys, they definitely came to school together. The position of the adverbs is correct, guys, because we are using the adverbs in the correct position, but we only have to check the order of some or the correct position of some other words, okay? So don't worry, guys, but the important thing is that we identify how to use correctly the adverbs, okay? Guys, today as a homework, we have the following. Please, guys, complete 100% of the activities on the platform. Remember, guys, that this is our last week of classes. So tomorrow, guys, we have practice class. So tomorrow we come to speak and practice some other areas like reading or listening. So that's why, guys, it's important for you to complete all the activities. Then, guys, on Thursday, we will have our oral evaluation. Well, actually, it's not an oral, it's not an oral evaluation. It's more like an oral practice, guys. A summary of all the topics or all the things that we learned in this level. Okay, so everybody, I hope to see you tomorrow in our class. Thank you for being here today. I hope you have clear ideas about the topic that we studied today, and also, guys, that you can continue practicing more. Okay, have a good night, everybody. Nice to see you and listen to you today. Bye bye.
Okay, teacher, could you send the presentation and the WhatsApp group, please?
Yes, I will. Okay, I will try to send you yesterday's and today's presentation. Okay.
Okay,
Bye
thank
bye,
you, teacher.
guys. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye bye.